Good morning, crafters. Welcome to my channel this morning. Today I am looking forward to sharing with you some alcohol markers that I have gotten for my birthday, which is on the 4th of May. So may the force be with you. These arrived yesterday. I was in a bit of a panic. They were supposed to come on Monday, but they didn't get delivered. And then Tuesday, I was sweating it because the postman hadn't been at his usual time, but he eventually came. And so they're sitting on my desk. Can't wait to share them with you and show you what I've got. Before I do that though, I'd like to do a quick shout out. First of all, to my moderator, Benita. She is known on YouTube and socials as Under a Pile of Papers. She's moderating today, so behave because she's watching you. We also have some people in the chat. Let's see who we have. We have Dee Paper Crafts, Missy Blute. We have Little Rabbit Designs. Carmen Vogels is here. Good morning, Carmen. We have Jane Dye as well. So we have 11 so far in the chat and watching. So welcome to you all. So I'm not going to faff around other than to say there is a link in the description. It'll bring you to Ohuhu. I'll also pop a link in there to Amazon where you can pick up the markers that I have got. The Amazon link and the any other links, some of them are affiliate links. So if you click on them, it costs you nothing extra to purchase whatever you're purchasing, but I'll get a little kickback and that helps me then to buy more great products to share with you when I'm crafting. So I would really appreciate that if you do purchase, you use my links. That would be wonderful. If you're enjoying the live as well, and if you're watching this back after the live has finished, thank you for watching. Please do give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and don't forget, ding the bell so you won't miss another live or recorded video with some crafty tutorials. Okay, so I'm going to move down to the desk now. Oh yeah, click the thumbs up. I just see my moderator is saying that. Remember, click the thumbs up and you'll see over here, I have a little thumbs up for you. So just to remind you. Okay, so let's go down to the table. And this is the Ohuhu's 320 marker set. I ordered these from the ohuhu.com and they came from the Europe site, I think is the Netherlands. It says 3 to 5 working days. I ordered them on a Wednesday and they arrived yesterday, which was Tuesday. So just shy of 7 days, but there was a weekend in between that. So I was very, very pleased with that. There was no delays with Irish Customs with getting these through, which was brilliant. And yeah, I love this. Now I did have a quick look through when they arrived, so I'll show you that. But I have to say the bag is a really good quality bag. It has a handle on the top. It does have a carry strap, but I've taken that off just for ease on the desk. When you open the zips, you get all these wonderful markers. Now, I went through these yesterday and I kind of brought all the blues together and all the pinks and skin tones and purples and grays and greens, and because they were just so higgledy-piggledy. Like, it was like having the itches. I don't understand why they can't put them all this way in the bag. I found this much easier to deal with, and I thought it would make it easier for my swatching as well. I'm just going to say a quick shout out to Alicia32, that's my daughter. I'm going to come back up to the screen just for a minute, because I know my granddaughter Jane and probably my little grandson Arlen are watching on the big TV because Nana's on the telly. So I want to say hi Jane, hi Arlen. I hope you're being very good for Mama today. Okay, back down to the desk. You have to do it when you're a grandparent. It has to be done. No apologies. Sorry, no apologies. So now when you get the bag, you get a plastic, feels nice actually, kind of a silicone plastic. This little sheet is what Ohuhu give you, that you can slide it between your pages. So if you're doing colouring in a colouring book, or maybe your art journaling, etc., if the paper is very light, it can bleed through on the back. So they give you this little sheet so you can pop it behind. Now, I have what I call these L-shaped pockets, and I get them, you can get them anywhere really. I get them in my local Mr. Price. I'm sure you can get them in Deals or Target or any suppliers, stationery suppliers. I was fishing for that word, stationery. And I just use this for under my cardstock, my paper, whatever I'm drawing on, with whatever alcohol markers I'm using. And I do think it helps your blend. So I have that ready to use in a while. So Ohuhu put one in. This is probably half an A4 sheet. You'll also get in here a little booklet with all things Ohuhu and all the different markers and all the different series, etc. And you can look through that for your color coding. And I had a quick browse through this and I found it quite helpful. So there's all the things in there that you might be interested in. And then they also put in these little swatch charts or color charts. And again, they're a small size. Now I wear glasses. My sight is not great. So I took the swatch chart from the Ohuhu website before they came, and I printed them up myself on the cardstock I'll be using to color on. Because if you take a blue and you color on this, and then you take a paper from your stash that you like to color on, well, it will have a different kind of look to it, I've found. And it will work a little differently because this is a nice thick, it's nearly like watercolor cardstock. But I use a smooth white cardstock that I use in card making. So that's my preference. So I took the swatch sheets from the internet and I printed up some of them myself. So these are the swatch sheets that I have printed up. But the only thing is, I think a bit like how the markers come in the bag, very jumbled up, I think the colors go onto the swatch sheet kind of jumbled up as well. And I want to have my colors kind of fading down into rainbow order. So I printed up 4 sheets of this. And my intention was to colour on them. But a lovely crafty friend, not only Benita, but my crafty friend Carmen, who's in the chat, she recommended that maybe I get some swatch sheets that you can get online. And that way what I could do is I could get a sheet where all the greens are together and all the blues are together. You know, you have your light green, your dark green, your olives, your... So she recommended a lady, it's a web store from the Netherlands. It's www.noorenzo.com, and I'll leave that there. So for anyone who wants to take a quick swatch of it. But she has done them out into their colour families, and I really liked that idea. Now I did email them yesterday. or was it the day before? I can't remember. Days all just blur into each other. I did email and say, look, I'm going to be colored swatching. I'd love to use your chart. Can you, give me links and stuff and I can put them in my videos, but I haven't heard back from her yet. So that's why I've given you that www dot so you can go on there. What I've actually done now for myself, I have alcohol markers in my stash, and they're Smith's alcohol markers, and I printed up this swatch sheet just from the internet, and I went through my markers so I could put my reds and my pinks and then my purples, and I could do the chart how I'd like it to be done. So I really wanted to go with a similar chart again, but I wanted to do it with the color families like the Lorenzo swatch sheet. So that's what I've done. I've gone ahead and I have printed up my chart. I have put all my different numbers in, and it takes 2 of these chart sheets. And then I've also got 1 blank, because what I like to do is I like to do a 3 color blend. So I have my dark, medium and light, and that equals the blend, and that's what I do. And I've done it on this one so I can show you. It's really handy if you have blends in mind and you know how they are going to work. So if I take my dark purple, my medium and my light, it'll give me this color blend. And I'm going to bring it up so you can kind of see. So that way then if I have flowers or I have a frog or whatever, and I'm like, oh, what greens am I going to use for that? I can go to my color blend chart and go, oh, I really like this set of greens. So I would pull out these 3 markers and I know this is the color blend it's going to give me. And that's what I plan to do with my Ohuhus. I find coloring, as someone who isn't artistic, I mean, I wouldn't sit down and color, a bowl of fruit or something. I just wouldn't have, the confidence to do that. So having those blends for me really helps. Having my colors all in a rainbow order really helps. So I just wanted to share that with you. That's how I do it. That's what kind of helps me. Since I got my Smith's markers, which were just a cheap set of like 300 and something markers. I think they were 49 euros. They blended quite well. Some of the colors bleached out, the lighter ones would bleach out, but for beginner status, or if you're a young person and you want to treat them to markers, if they're interested in coloring, that for me, I think is the way to go. And it gave me the confidence then to want to get these. Having the 320 of these is a bit scary to me again, because there's so many, but I kind of feel it was pointless me getting a smaller set, because as I grow in confidence with my colouring, I'll be sorry I didn't get the fuller lot of markers. They are an expensive buy for some. I got them and I had a coupon code or a discount code of Hi Ohuhu, and I got 15% off my markers. So this set cost me just over 200 euros to purchase, and that included shipping and everything. And I think that's really good, because I know the top brand is Copics and they're much cheaper. So I was really pleased with this. So now I'm going to have another quick look through the comments, because I've been waffling quite a lot. And if you have any tips or tricks that you'd like to share, please do put them in the comments, and do it in all caps. That way we'll see them, it's different if there's little conversations and stuff going on there. If there's a comment you really want me to see, if you could again do that in capital letters, that way when I pull back through the comments, I'll be able to spot your comment as well. So let's see. Yeah, just everyone saying good morning. Good morning. Amanda is there as well. Jeanette is there. Good morning, Jeanette. Oh, Arlen is napping, but Jane says hello. Hi, Jane. Debbie is here as well. Yeah, and Cara is there. Cara says, I am currently using my Ohuhus, and she's colouring in a monkey. Well, if you have any tips, Cara, definitely do let us know. Kay is there as well. Good morning, Kay. Thank you for joining. Kay is a fantastic card maker and colourer as well. There's lots of great card makers in the chat, and we have 15 people watching today. So good morning from the west of Ireland to all of you, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening or night, depending where on the planet you are. We do get some watchers from Australia, so that's really cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out my swatch sheet, and rather than use the Ohuhu swatch sheet, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my swatch sheet and colour in. And what I'll do is I'll colour and chat and you know, all the things. I want to say as well, I was watching a video by a lady called Sparkle Draws, and she did skin tone blends. What she does is she puts up on the screen 4 of the same image, and then she'll colour in the first one, very simple. What we'll say, if you have no clue of colouring, literally just colouring all your orange in one orange colour, all your blue, and you know, and then she goes to so easy, simple, intermediate and advanced, right? And she goes through the different color blending. But she had a video up and it was skin tones. So I kind of made a note and gave them what I thought of them. So I found that really handy. So if you know of some colorists or artists who use Ohuhu markers and you recommend them, definitely put them down in the chat as well. Not just for me, but for other crafters and people who like to use their Ohuhus and colour, for them as well, so we can all share in that. So I'd love to hear that. Kay is reminding people, give a thumbs up. Indeed, Kay, thank you so much. Right, so I'm going to zoom into the desk and we're going to, I'll bring my sheet down a little bit, and then what we'll do is colour in. Now, it's such a big bag and we have such a bright day that I've got the curtain closed just on one side, so hopefully it's it's not too dark on the desk. I could bring my light over a little bit more. Hopefully that's better. Let me know what you think. So I'm going to find, my first marker is G. Now, because there is so many markers, it may be hard for me to find them. So I'm just going to have a look and see if I can. Right, this one is G313. Oh, look, there's G313. So I'm just going to swatch this out. Now, my tips that I had on all my other markers were all the, what do you call them? Oh, I can't think of it at the moment. They're all this type of tip here. Fine tip. Yeah, fine tip. Now with the Ohuhus you can get a brush tip and a fine tip, but they didn't have them available when I was purchasing, so I got the brush tip and the chisel tip. And the chisel is great if you're doing a big area, so I was happy to get those. And but the brush tip I'm not so used to, and Benita was telling me that they can take a minute to get used to using them. So do forgive for, yeah, do you know, if I go outside the lines or whatever. Right, next one is G312. So let's see if we can find that. There it is, G312. I have to say, these feel nice in the hand. They're a nice round shape, and you can, I hope you can see on the marker, they have this little lip here on both caps, and that's just to stop your marker from, well, maybe if I did it on the desk, it stops them from rolling away, which I thought was a really, really good and clever idea. So 312, let's color this one in as well. And the thing that really drew me to these markers as well is that I've seen with a lot of colorists, if you put down your color and then you leave it to dry and then come back over it again, it will layer on top. So it's like having a medium color, and I thought that was really, really good. Am I missing anything? Laura is there. Good morning, Laura. She said, morning all, this looks interesting, Simone. Well, it's me swatching out my new Ohuhus and hopefully it's not too boring for you. I just thought, well, rather than being set in at the desk colouring away, I'd probably be chatting with maybe Benita or Avril or Kay or Haley. We kind of craft together sometimes. I kind of thought, well, rather than do it on my own, sure, I might as well do it on the old YouTube with some of you, just for a while. I'm not going to do a long because this would be boring if I'm not colouring images in, but I thought it'd be fun just to swatch. This one is a deep jade green. It's G316 and I have that here. So I'm going to fill that in. I do like the feel of the tips on this brush. It's lovely and soft. And we'll pull up another one. This is YG015, a dark olive, and YG015, YG015, yep. So we'll pop this in. When I sat down here yesterday and I wrote in all the numbers in pencil, and then what I did was yesterday evening I went over them with a black pen so I wouldn't rub them out. YG415, YG414, ooh, this could be anywhere. YG415, yeah. So let's see, is it on the other sheet? YG. Okay. All right, I'm going to put this one back in. And that way I can find that one later, because I'm not going to sit here now looking through color charts. Let's see what else. G113. This is the fun thing with swatching, and I think a lot of people have said that they have taken like 3.5 hours to swatch their sheets. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I'll be able to do that all in one sitting. Cara is popping off to get her daughter from school. Bye Cara, thanks for stopping in. Debbie said, this is perfect background watching as I'm making envelopes. So boring. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Debbie, but sure, look, you know, yeah, sure, why not? Right, 3G113. I thought this would be a lot easier. It's like doing bingo calls. G, nope. G, there's more G's. G113, so that's over here. So these are mixed around a little. G113. I'm going to confirm G113. I'm afraid of my life I'm going to put the wrong marker in the wrong box. But you know what? It's only paper. Can always stick another square over the top and have it. Lovely. Okay, let's see. YG113. YG 113. There we go. YG 113. I'm looking forward to doing a comparison test between these ones and the old markers that I had to see how they go. YG 611. Let's see if we can find that. You'll probably spot it and go, it's over there to the left, Simone, but I can't hear you. I saw some info on the new numbering system. The first number is the intensity and the last 1 to 3 numbers are the brightness. That's from, it's Kim, isn't it, from, or is it Donna from DD Paper Crafts? Can you remind me of your name? I really need to write that down somewhere and do what Sam does. Yeah, so let's see. The first number is the intensity. So 6 would be really intense then. And then using this, first number is the intensity, the last numbers are the brightness. And it said blend using the same middle number and shade, using the same letter and the first number, but varying the final numbers. See, reading that, it said blend the same middle number and shade, using the same letter and first number, but varying the final numbers. That to me is like maths. After 3 numbers, I'm lost. It's just, imagine Homer Simpson and he's sitting there going, blah, 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 blah. There's no absorption of that. I would have to sit down and actually look at it and figure that, like, that to me is hard work. Do you know what I mean? Like, there has to be, I think my husband Mike was saying if they should have done the numbering, the coding on each cap. There's another system that they use within computers, and it would have meant that how the flow of the colors would have been much better and much easier. I don't know, because again, after a minute into that conversation, it was kind of blah, 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 blah. I was just, yeah, attention span is gone. So, okay, 611 is there. YG611, Manta Screen. Ooh, that lovely. I love all the colors in this. Really nice. Okay, next one is, now I'm looking at my screen there, folks. Let me know if you can see what I'm doing clear enough, you know. I hope it's not too blurry for you there, what you're looking at. Let's see. Yeah, Benita reckons it's much easier now with the new numbers. Well, I'll have to sit down with you, Benita, and you're going to have to dumb it down for me so I can get it. It's Donna. Lovely. And I should have remembered that, Donna. DD Papercrafts. Donna Papercrafts. Yeah. See, I'm blonde. I do have those moments. But I really should write it down. That's the worst of having your, like, I come up as Blonde Cards and Crafts, but people wouldn't know to call me Simone. Do you know what I mean? I think we should have it so it's like Blonde Cards and Crafts with a dash and Simone. That way it automatically comes up with our names. I wonder, could we do that? I suppose we could. We can change our handle. That's an idea. Donna said, blend the same middle. Then if you're shading, same letter, etc. Or try it out on a scrap of paper. Donna, I think we should sit down together and do a little colouring together where you can, you know, walk me through it. 1, 2, 3, ABC style. Laura said, I think I might have grouped the colours and numbers together, then wrote them in the numbers as I coloured the swatch. This is going to be frustrating for you. Well, Laura, you could be very right. But you know what? If I get a bit of colour down, I have the stacks back here to put the new markers in. I'm going to move things about here on these shelves. And I think what I'll do is I'll reprint these ones blank again with no numbers on them. And I look through this swatch and I can go through this swatch and pick my numbers, and I'll have them all stacked like what I've done here for my cheap markers. And that way then I won't be depending on the letter number codes. I can just go, like, I look at my reds here and I'll pull out one and it could be number 121 next to number 16. Do you know what I mean? They're all kind of mixed up, but their colours go blend nicely from one to the other. And I think that's what I'll do for a finish. I just thought this would be easier if I got my colours down and knew what the caps were. I can then do. Isn't that what the joy of this is, when you get a big thing of markers like this and you go through all the colours and you set them up how you like? And so I'm quite happy to do that, you know. I'll just print on the back of the other sheets that I've done, and that way I'll have them. But for me to use the markers, I need to be able to pull out easily my colours and know what my blends are going to be. And I think once I have that, I'll be flying it. And I think this can put off some people who aren't used to colouring and don't feel they're very good at colouring. I think that this can be the scary part of it. And I know there's a lot of artists and people out there will be like, what is scary about that? But, you know, it's like jumping over a river that's 1 meter wide or 3 meters wide. Some people will look at a 3 meter wide jump and think nothing of it, and other people will look at a 1 meter wide jump and be like, oh my God, I can't do it. So, yeah. YG415. YG415. YG. Why? If you have actually done up a colour swatch and you feel that it really works for you, and you want to share it, please do share it in my Facebook group called Your Cards and Crafts. If you pop onto Facebook and you have a swatch that you like to use, that was a free swatch that you have adjusted and made it work for you, then definitely pop it in the group, and that way then others will be able to, you know, get an idea from it. I think some of the colors I'm just going to miss because I'm not going to see them because of what I'm doing right now. I must have, yeah, YG415. Yeah, I'm going to put this one back in and I'll find that later. I'm not going to stress the small stuff here now. G. There's a G114. G114. I mightn't have all the numbers out either. V or V. Do we have a G? GG. G's. There's more G's. BG's. G. 114. That's where it is there. Okay. Oop, that's the chisel. So who is your favorite on YouTube that does coloring that you like? Have you any favorites? G34. There we go. This is called Pale Green. It's nice. Let's see. Let me see. Can see the colors but not the numbers. Okay. Because it looks better on my screen than what it's streaming. So the numbers are really clear for me. So I'm hoping now I'm going to watch the screen to see as I lift whether it improves or not. In fairness, I answer to all sorts. Donna's saying. Yeah, look, as it comes up. I wonder if I bring that down a little bit. Will that help? See, the numbers look clear to me on my laptop. So hopefully, bring it down another bit. I don't like moving the camera when I'm live because I don't want to make anyone sick. Yeah, that's looking a little bit better. I've got YouTube on over to the side so I can see the comments and stuff. Benita said, yeah, that's the fun of it, Simone. It is. It's the colouring of it in and taking the time and getting to know it and everything. Kay says, I've just bought some metallic and glitter markers from B&M. Oh, it'll be interesting now, Kay, to see what you think of those and how they do. Donna said, I have done my first proper colouring in the last week, inspired by all of you. So I'm using pens bought from Vinted to see how I get on. I know nothing other than what I've read. Well, welcome to the club, Donna. I have been watching so many different YouTube videos from colorists, artists, using Ohuhu markers to see how they're blending and how they're colouring and all the things. And I have to say, I have learned lots all about the different layering and stippling and all the things. And you know what? I will bring that all in gradually into my colouring, but it's for fun. This is a hobby for me. I do not do it to earn a living. Ask my husband, he'll tell you. I do it because I enjoy it. You know, I was full-time mum with my girls, and then they all grew up and went off to do their own thing and was left behind with the dogs. And then the dogs were so used to me being here that the thoughts of leaving them all day was really hard. And then sure, I'd have to go back and retrain, and sure, what would be the point of that? So yeah, this is a hobby for me to keep me entertained because I love gardening, but you can't do that in the wintertime without getting drowned. I live in Ireland, so yeah. Let's see, YG414. Right, we'll start here as we're on this page. YG, YR, nope. So it must be over here. I have to say it does look clearer now that I've pulled the camera down another little bit. Let's see. Donna said it used to stress me out because it always looked awful, but I'm following Simone's mantra of not stressing the small stuff. You go, girl, you know. Yeah, I think perfection is overrated. We should all, you know, strive for perfection, but I don't allow it to overwhelm me in what I do. I used to, in the beginning, look at what I would make in card making and what others were making and kind of think, oh, I'm not good enough. Mine isn't as good as that. But we're all at different levels, and we, you know, enjoy in the moment what you're doing. Enjoy what you're making. At the end of the day, we're all artists because we are creating. We're taking products and we're making a whole different thing. It's like I say with the ladies, you could give us all a bag with the same products in it and say, make a 5x7 card. And if you did that with 10 people with, you know, the same, give them 3 different colored card bases, a stamped image set, a pack of pattern papers, and say, away you go, make a card with that. I bet you every one of the 10 people will all make a different card, even if they're not looking at what the other is doing, because we all create differently. We all see beauty in different things. You might look at mixed media and think, that is fabulous. I love that. And someone else can look at it and go, oh my God, that is such a mess. That is so just higgledy-piggledy and all on top of each other and grungy and ugh. So, you know, what one person likes, another might dislike. So I think we should all really do what makes us feel creative, makes us feel happy. The same when you, did I look for this already? YG414, there it is, YG414. We should all do, you know, what gives us joy, you know, unless you're making something for a commission and it's a case of, here's the product, we want you to make this and make it look like that. Well, that's a whole different kit and caboodle altogether. But yeah, I certainly don't sweat the small stuff. I don't make for a lot of people anymore. I have my YouTube that keeps me busy enough. YG, all the ones. There we go. That keeps me busy enough, so I don't need to, you know. But it's nice to have a new hobby. I love that I'm getting into the colouring now and that I'm taking enjoyment from it, and you know, yeah, I just love it because it's a different thing. I like to sit down with images, you know, like the boys here on this card. Do you know, I really enjoyed sitting down and colouring that. Looking at it now from what I've learned over the last few days, I know that there's ways now I could improve this image, you know, do a little stippling on it and all the different things, you know, layer up my colours, allow one colour to dry and then go back over on your mid colour with your mid colour, because it will give more depth and dimension. Do you know, so I'm loving that. I'm loving that I'm getting to do that now as well, you know. Right, what's this? YG312. Laura and Kay are having a little conversation regarding the metallic markers. You go, girls. Kelly Taylor, yeah, she's brilliant. And there's lots of others. There's a number of other different crafters I watch. Can I remember their names? No, because they come up in my subscribed list, so I can just click on them. Let's see. I think that's Kim is there from DIY Dream Weddings. It's Kim, isn't it? Am I right in saying Kim? I hope I am. Welcome. I'm just swatching some colours and just talking in general. I'm not getting very far. I mean, that's all I've coloured so far. But we're having the chats, and that's what it's about. Sandy Allknock. Yes. I used to watch her when I started crafting. God, she is an amazing artist. She does beautiful stuff and a fun lady too. I kind of feel like if I lived down the block from her, the two of us would get on really well. YG 312. 312. YG 312. There we go. YG 312. Lovely. Tammy is here. Welcome, Tammy. Tammy said, good morning. I'm so excited for you and a little jealous. Oh, I'm sorry about that, but thanks for being excited for me. Are you excited for me? Donna says, I would like to watch someone who really dumbs it down as a total beginner. Yeah, that's me as well. I mean, I'm not a beginner, but, you know, I mean, I've colored a couple of images and stuff, but yeah, I think a lot of artists, they're coloring for people who has an idea of color theory and all those kind of things, you know. But yeah, I think there was one lady, was it Sparkle Draws? There was another lady I watched, and she was the one that took 4 images and did it like basic, simple, intermediate and artistic. She had different words for them, but I found that so helpful. What I'll do is after the live, I'll have a look and I will put the name of that artist in the description, and that way then it'll be there for you to see. I found her brilliant. She's the one I tend to go back to repeatedly. She does it like short videos, and they're really, really cool. Laura said, yeah, Sandy Allknock uses Copics. She's the designer of the hex charts. She's recently done hex charts for the Ohuhu markers. Oh, well, that's interesting. I must have a look at that now. Laura, thank you for that. Polka Doodles, Nikki Hall is a very good teacher. Lovely. I'm going to go back through the comments after the live and I'm going to make a note of all this. And what I'll do is I'll put the list of the names you're giving me in the live. I'll put that down in the description as well. Yeah, there is a link down below. It's to Amazon for the 320 markers. If you pop over there and you get them from Amazon, that's an affiliate link, so I'll get a little kickback if you purchase through there. I do have the official Ohuhu.com website where I purchase these. That's in the description of this live, so if you're looking for that. 413, there we go, YG 413. I found there's a lot of people, artists on YouTube showing their colouring. Seems to be a lot of the colouring book people. That seems to be a big thing, getting colouring books and colouring that in. I have a newfound admiration now for artists who take a plain colouring page. Well, say like what I would do with my little granddaughter Jane. You know, it's just your basic line drawing, and they colour it in, and it's like, wow, that is so cool with the shading and everything on it. Next time I'm colouring with Jane, I'll definitely be doing that. YG215. YG215. There we go, YG215. I like these olive colours. I recently moved craft rooms. We have a big room at the end of the house, and I had that as my craft room, and Hobby has some of his things in there that he uses hobby-wise, and it was just so cluttered, and it kind of didn't feel like my room, you know. So we have this, it's a bedroom in the middle of the house. I live in a bungalow, and I hadn't decorated this since we moved in, and I thought, you know what, I'd really like to change and make this my craft room, because it'll be a nice warm room. The sun is in the back for 2/3 of the day. I can see if Ghost, our dog, is out in the garden. I can look directly into the garden. Do you know, I just kind of felt I wanted this room, and I measured it all up, and my 5 Billy bookcases and my smaller Billy bookcase all fit nicely in this L shape. And then I've got my printer and all my gubbins over there, and I've got nice art up on the wall and stuff, and I'm really, really loving it. I'm waiting to get my new light bar that we're putting up above, and I've 1 or 2 more things that I want to do in the room, and once I do that, I might do a little craft room tour. It's nothing special, it's very basic, but yeah, if you'd like to see a craft room tour, definitely let me know, and I will do one. 415. 415. Yeah, YG415. Am I missing it? YG. Like 414 is there. Why isn't 413? Why isn't 415? Like, that just makes no sense to me. 4. Okay, let's go down through. I'm going to pop the marker lid back on. YG415. Okay, we'll try the next page. YR. YGY. I think I keep pulling the same marker out. I'm going to leave that out. Okay, YG610. Let's see. YG. I think I need to move this up a little bit so I can move that up there. Yeah, that looks better. YG610. 610. There we go, YG610. Before I color that in, I'm just going to give it a little rub of the eraser. There we go. YG610. Ooh, that's nice. Lovely. YG510. YG5. There we go. Sometimes they come out nicely. I'm liking this tip. I'm liking this tip lots. I didn't think I would, you know. YG 212. YG. There we go. No, that's 112. 212. There we go. YG 212. YG 212. Yeah. Lovely. Very nice. Have I missed any comments? There's Jeanette. Good morning, Jeanette. I've just spotted your comment, so do excuse me for not saying hello to you earlier. Benita loves my new room. It's lovely. I was doing it pink. I went down to the paint shop looking for pink. I was going through the colour swatches looking at pinks, and on the wall just over there it had all the different colours and, you know, the little blocks that you can see them, and then the swatches underneath. And I just kept being drawn to this green that I have in the room. And I thought, and I'm still looking at the pinks, but I keep, you know, getting distracted with the greens. And the guy comes over and he's saying, you know, how can I help you? And I was like, I'd like to get a tin of paint, please. And he's, what colour would you like? And I have the pinks in my hand and I look over and I go, that one. So we pull out the swatch and we're looking at the colors above and below, and I was actually going a lighter color, and he was saying that it was like, it was really a kind of a white with a tint of green, but I wanted a green, light green color. So yeah, we went for this color and I'm delighted with it. It went on a little bit darker. I was like, oh, I think this is a bit darker than I wanted. And you know the way that wall is darker than how it looks there on that wall, but that is a bit lighter than, oh yeah. But in general, when the sun is coming in, it's just, it's a lovely, calm, nice color. I'm very pleased with it. I'm sad I didn't go for the pink, but I'm glad that I went for the color I chose. YG66. There we go, YG66. Yeah, we'll throw that in there. That's lovely. And if I see a colour that's close to my green, I'll be able to point it out. That is actually pretty close, similar. Jeanette says it's next to the teal colour on the second sheet. What is that? This one? The YG415. Oh, it is! You eagle eye. Look at that. Okay. You go, girl. Wish you were here beside me. There it is, YG415. Lovely. Ooh, this is a really dark. This is called Cascade Green. This is a I would have said this is a dark forest green. Lovely. Thanks for that, Jeanette. Okay, let's see. They're all the, have we any more? We have another YG. YG211. YG. I think we're back to this page again. YG211. There we go. 211, 211. Lovely. It's a little ASMR for you there. Can you hear it? Lovely. Let's see. Another YG. This is 07. YG07. There's 3, 6, 7. Lovely. Ooh, this is nice. I'm loving all the green shades. What do we think, guys? Isn't there lots of lovely greens? You can see it, foliage colours doing well there. I'm kind of disappointed that this isn't focusing a bit better for you. I don't understand. Something is lost in translation between what I'm seeing here on my laptop and what is actually coming across on YouTube. I wonder, is it streaming? I mean, we're supposed to have 5G here, but yeah, I think maybe new camera for Christmas, YG, so we can get that ping crystal clear, you know. We're on YG29. YG29. There we go. YG29. Lovely. Nice. How is that looking on the back? Yeah, it's not bleeding too much on this. Lovely. Next one. I think that's all the YGs. Right, let's go. This is more of a Y27. Y27. There we go, Y27. Ooh, nice. Lovely. Y28. There, right next to it. Battleships and all that. Lovely. Hello, Iced Images is here with us as well. Good morning. Thank you for joining. Have to say I'm a massive fan of yours. Are these good markers? How do they compare with pro markers? My pro markers are getting rather old and dry, so we'll need to replace them at some point. Well, I have had the Spectrum Noir. I had the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blends. I have the Smith's Toy Store ones. They're called Co-Experts. So they're like your genetic from China markers. I've been loving them. Sure, I think my least favorite was the Spectrum Noir. My most favorite was the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blends, because as a beginner, you had your dark, medium and light color all in the one marker. So that was brilliant. I've really enjoyed the Smith's markers, the generic, you know, white marker, you know. I found them good as a beginner, intermediate colorer. I found them very good. These ones, now I'm moving on to a brush tip. All the rest of them didn't have the brush tip, they had the fine tip. And I have to say, just from swatching these out and the brush tip being new to me, I'm really enjoying it. I know that Benita, who has coloured for a long time, is using the Ohuhus. She loves them and thoroughly rates them. Sam, who you know as well, she started using the Ohuhu markers and she's loving them. I have to say, I'm enjoying what I'm doing at the moment. I haven't started colouring any images, so I'd like to think within the next 2 weeks I'm going to get a feel for them and tell you how I'm going to like them. But I do think going on, I've watched lots of YouTube reviews and artists using them as well, and they have all really rated them as well. I think Copics are, you know, they're top level, they're the best and the whole lot. But there's lots of artists who'll tell you they much prefer the Ohuhus to the Copics. You know, they're more affordable, they blend just as well, and have found that they're getting really good results, you know, up there with the Copics. So I think value-wise, I got the 320 set. I'm in Ireland. I ordered them on the ohuhu.com website. There is a link to the Amazon website if you want to get them from Amazon. I have a link in the comment section here on the live, and we'll have in the description down below. The one for the European, you know, you select whether you're in America or the UK or Asia or wherever, and then they're shipped. These ones came, they were the Europe, they came from the Netherlands. I got them within 6 days of ordering them. And there was a weekend in the middle of that. I ordered them on a Wednesday morning. They got here yesterday morning. Well, actually afternoon. Put the lid back on that. So I have to say I'm enjoying them. They feel smoother to the other markers I was using. So I would hope that they are a better marker. So it just depends. If you can afford and want to buy Copics, then get Copics. But if you want an alternative, you know, if you're in America, there's lots of options. But if you're in Europe or the UK, then for me, purchasing anything from America, it's immense. If I'm going to pay €30 for a stamp set from America, I'm going to pay another 20 to €25 on top of that, just in customs fees and shipping. So it's literally costing me just shy of twice the price. So for me, the Ohuhus were a good alternative because I could get them through Europe, through their warehouse in Europe. YG012. It's there, looking at me. So it's Denise, isn't it, from Iced Images. So I think it's just a matter, I mean, they do them in all different size sets, but my thing is, if I'm going to get the Ohuhus, and I'm hearing really good reviews, and I can afford to get the 320, then I'm going to get the 320. Just because I kind of feel I'm going to grow into them anyway, and it's good to have them. And they cap really well. You know, there's a nice snap when you put them on, and there's a nice, when you pull them out, you know, there's a nice pop for them coming off. So I think once they're capped, and I lie mine down, I don't store mine where they're standing up. You can get a rotating, like Lazy Susan from Ohuhu, where you stand your markers up. But I just have this thing in my head, all the ink is going to flow down to the bottom. I know it's held in suspension within the medium in the barrel, but I just feel if they're lying there, then the ink is evenly spread, you know, in the barrel, that once you then pick them up and use them. So I don't know what the manufacturing and suspension and all those, but I like mine lying down. Plus they kind of fit, they'll fit better in there. And that's what I want. I want the visual look as well. Y19. Let's see. Amanda said, I think I need to follow your idea of putting all the relevant colors together. Mine are all mixed up. Yeah. For me, I just kind of feel mentally, if I have all my greens together, it will make it easier for me to choose my greens. Now look, I have some greens here and some greens here. But what I'll do is I will reprint up my sheet without the numbers on them. And then what I'll do is I'll take my colors from here and then I'll swatch them onto a new sheet. So that way I can keep all my greens together on my new sheet. And then I'll bring it down into my gold colors and the whole lot. And maybe when I do that, what I'll do is I'll scan that in and put it up on the Facebook group or somewhere like that you can get it. I might do that because I think a lot of new colorists, just people who aren't used to using such a big swatch, I think people might enjoy that. So I think that's something I'll do over the next number of weeks. And once I get that done, I'll definitely do that out. I'll print up the sheet. I'll just have the numbers on it like this that you can then print it up, get your markers and pop them in to the numbers, and you'll know you'll have all your greens, your yellows and golds and browns and, you know, whatever way I do it. But I think that might be an option some of you might like to have. So let me know if you like that idea. Jeanette has hers popped in similar colors and they're all in wine racks. So the wine racks, for those of you who are like, what? A wine rack? It's these. I'll show you. So you can get these in lots of different places. Let me move out a little bit. There we go. So these are for to pop a wine bottle in, and you can buy them so they're stackable. So different places do them. I know they're on Temu, so you can get them there. And what a lot of people are doing, I have a load of them up there with my pencils and with my all my different other mediums for colouring in. And you can do that, put all your greens. So when you're looking to colour in all your greens, if you're doing a load of leaves and stuff like that, greenery, you can bring it down and you'll have them. And you'll see all the numbers will be at the end then as well. But I do like the idea of having the racks, you know, which each marker goes into. I think you can just see it here. That's what I want to go with for mine. But these are an alternative, inexpensive way of storing your markers. And then when they're all on your shelf and they're stacked maybe 3 high and 5 long, you know, you can have all your colors, and that's a good way of doing it too. So that's what I have there. I have them for my zigs and I have them for my tri-blends are up there. And then I have the little Crayola markers from when the kids come around and different things like that. Okay, I got distracted. Denise asks, are they competitively priced? Yes, the Ohuhus are the cheaper version of Copics. Like I said, I got the 320 for just over 200 euros, which would be less than £200 for you because you're in the UK. Now, I used the code HIOHUHU and that got me 15% off. So if you're going to, that was on the ohuhu.com website, and the link for that is in the description. That's not an affiliate link. So if you want to go on there, you just select the UK or Europe, wherever you are, and then put the markers you want into your basket. And when you go to ship out, you can pop in your coupon code or whatever and use that. It worked for me last weekend, and I think that code is a long-standing usable code. But I don't know how long it's going to be there for. So all I can say is I put it up the week before on my Facebook page, and then, like I said, I used it last week and it worked for me. So if it doesn't work, have a look on the internet, type in coupon code for Ohuhu markers, and it'll come up with codes that you can pop in. But that one worked. Y19, Y19. Why? Jeanette, are you looking? Can you see it there? There it is. I found it. It's like bingo here. Y19. This is canary yellow. Ooh, lovely. I'm not being too precious about my color swatching. Which do you prefer? Do you want me to leave it out like this, or would you like me to zoom in? If you'd like me to zoom in closer, type in zoom in capital letters in the comment section, so I'll know you'd prefer that. Spoiled for choice with greens. We are, Jeanette. Spoiled for choice. Benita said, now you understand what I was saying for my live. It looked great on the laptop. Yeah, I totally get that. I totally get it. Louise, that's it. Louise from Iced Images. I need to write this down. Often on offer on Amazon UK as well. Yeah, I do have a link. There's a pinned link there in the comments for Amazon as well, so have a check of that out. I don't have a discount code, but the Hi Ohuhu might work in there, so you could always give it a try. Louise said, I got some aqua markers from B&M, which are quite good. If Sam likes them, they'd just be decent. I kind of think we all go a bit on what Sam says, because she seems to be our queen, you know. So if Sam uses them and they're good, then they're good, you know. Laura said, I'm at that stage with my pro markers, but I know them. Does that make sense? I keep just picking up the singles at Cowling and Wilcox, but they are not cheap. Yeah, I suppose when you're familiar with something, it's like, oh, do I want to change? I know these work and how they work. But I think like with anything, when you go to something new, it takes a little bit of adjustment. But if you persist with it, then, you know, sometimes you look back and you think, God, why did I leave that so long? Or why did I wait? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it just depends on your budget. Maybe you find just buying a marker, even though, you know, it's dear for one marker, but it's cheaper than buying a whole set. There are smaller sets than this. I think there's like an 80 set, 120 set, a 200 and something set. So maybe have a look and buy. I know Sam started with the smaller sets. She went and got the Kala A set, and then she went and got the Kala B set. So I mean, you could do that. Purchase one of the smaller sets, see how you like them, and then go from there and build it up. You don't have to start with this, because I know there's another set and it's all the skin tones, and then there's this set, and you know, I figured this set will do me for a good while, and if I get really good at what I'm doing, I can then turn around and you know, get the other things as well. Okay, let's see. Louise said, it looks like they're about £230, that's sterling, for the 320 markers on Amazon. There are so many alcohol markers out there. It's difficult to know which ones will be good. I think, Louise, from my research, what I found is some markers, when you do a 3-layer blend, so you have your dark, your medium and your light. Now, I don't profess to be any wizard with knowledge when it comes to this stuff, but from what I have found, when you take a lighter colour, what it can do is bleach out your other colours. So I did find that with the Co-Expert markers that I have, but not excessively. It was only on some of the colours, but in general, I was very happy with them. But I found if I took a yellow marker and I put down a yellow colour, and if I let it dry and came back and went over that with the same marker, it just blended in. Whereas with the Ohuhus, when you do that, it actually sits on top. So it will give you a darker colour. So if you, let me get, so we'll say if you take your yellow and you put it on and then you leave it dry, and this is the tip that I found with all of them, you need to allow the alcohol to evaporate. Then when you come back and you layer over, right? I hope you can see that. I'm going to bring it up closer to the camera. Do you see the way you have a 2-color blend there? You have the lighter, which was the original color, and then to the bottom from the left down to the right, you have what looks like a darker blend. It's the same color, it's just layered on top. When I would do that with some of my other markers, it would just all blend in and you wouldn't see the difference. Whereas with this one, you can actually see the difference. And I hope my camera is picking that up for you to see. This is why I wanted to change and use the Ohuhus. This is the reason I got them. Did we all decide we're happy with it being zoomed out like this, or did we want to zoom in? Jeanette said she got 2 lots of 60. I feel there are some gaps in the colours, but they're good enough for me. Well, the thing is, where you have gaps, where you have your 3 marker blend, your dark, your medium and light. If you have a light colour and a dark colour, well, you can put down your light colour, put down your dark colour, and then come back with your light colour and put that through like a medium colour, because like I said, it will sit on top the way this one has, and it will give you your medium colour. This is what I like about the Ohuhus. As someone who isn't familiar with colouring and everything, that's what I really, really like. Benita said, Louise, if you can afford Copics, buy those because they're great. I have heard Ohuhus are as good, because I tried Copics, but I didn't like the flow of them. You see, so there you go. You know, you can be a Copics fan and nothing can be better than Copics. And you can buy the Copics and you can think, meh, I didn't like them so much. Again, I think it's down to personal preference and taste. I know when Benita was using her Copics with the reds, they were not working nicely. You know, they were bleeding out. And yeah, I just remember thinking at the time, gosh, you seem to have better luck using your Ohuhus compared to the Copics. Would you not agree, Benita? I just refuse to buy Copics because they're so damn expensive. Like, that's it. I don't care how good they are. If these are good enough, then this is good enough for me. That's how I kind of feel. Yeah, and then Benita is going into, you know, how she got on with Copics and the road she went down. I'll leave you to read that yourselves. Louise said, I'd like to replace my dyeing pro markers with something relatively cheap, as I don't colour in that often, but I like having the option to be able to if needed. Louise, this was the thing for me. Give me a piece of ephemera. I don't care. If I got a kit and it had a stamp set with matching ephemera or matching ephemera. I gravitated to using the ephemera. I didn't want to use the stamps and colour because I didn't feel, you know, good at doing it. But just by practicing, you know, doing a simple blend of taking a light colour and a medium colour and doing a 2-colour blend or a 3-colour blend. Do you know, what I did when I was doing Love from Lizzie colouring is so basic compared to the colouring I've done recently on cards, you know. Now, my colouring isn't up there with Sandy Allnuck's and the Kelly Taylor Evans of this world, but you know what? That isn't my jam. My cards that I make, they don't have to be, you know, that perfect, to be honest. So yeah, I think treat yourself to what you can afford. If you've used pro markers, you find them expensive, you want to try something else, I would recommend the Ohuhus. Anyone that I know who's used them is delighted with them. And anyone I've seen on the internet who rates them highly. So I don't think we can say much more than that, really. Y216. Y216. There we go, Y216. Yeah, Y216. That's a nice kind of golden brown, isn't it? Lovely. Jeanette said, I loved your idea of doing some blends swatched. Yeah, so for those of you that missed it, this is my cheap markers that I got from Smith's, and what I did was I colored them all out on paper that I use for coloring, and then what I did was I color swatched them. So I noticed that there was, you know, I was coloring in for doing jeans, and I thought, ooh, I like the colors that has come out with. So I did a 3-color blend. So I put down my dark color, my medium color, and my light color, and then I put the 3 together. I hope you can see that there. So then I did my dark, medium, and light on that. So anytime I wanted to do jeans, I knew I could come in here and find these 3 that I wanted. The same with this, I wanted a nice teal color. So I had to play with my markers, and I found these 3 give me a really nice color blend for a teal color. And this is what I plan to do with my Ohuhus. As I start to use them, as I start finding color blends that work really nicely, I'll make a note of it on a little piece of cardstock like this, and then I'll go back to my blends sheet and I'll add them in there. And that way then, when I want to do a quick color and I'm like, oh, I need colors for a frog, I can look at my 3 blends and go, they're the 3 blends for my frog color. Or I want to do a nice sunflower blend, I'll use those 3. Or I want to do a nice tabby cat, you know, a marmalade cat, I'll use those ones. So that's what I did, and I found that really helpful for me, because sometimes when you look at your swatch sheets and you're like, I need to do a nice pool of water. Well, which 3 blues am I gonna choose? That was the scary thing for me, knowing what dark, medium, and light will go well together. And so that's how this swatching helped. So that might help you if you're new to colouring or a little nervous about colouring. That might be an idea for you. I keep my swatches in these L-shaped pockets, and then when I go to do some colouring, generally I'll take these out for reference, put my colouring down on this and colour on top. That's what I'm doing with these underneath the L pocket that I'm using for this swatch sheet is underneath, because apparently, if you haven't heard me mention, it does help with your blend. I have got a little cup of tea in here. I'm going to take a sip, dry throat. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, that's yummy. I could talk for Ireland. Holy crow. Is it 12 o'clock? It is. I'm on an hour and a half. There's not a whole lot to show for it, but a lot of talking has been done. Gosh, my plan was to only stay on for an hour while I was colouring. My OCD wants them in numerical order. Yes, but numerical order will have them all over the place. So my artistic OCD wants them in like rainbow order. So zoom. Oh, Louise wants me to zoom in. I'll zoom back in. There you go. I'm slow at getting through the comments. Let's see. Debbie said, I got the bad habit of using cut off paper for stamping and colouring, so end up with different results. Yeah, that is the thing. I have different cardstock, different white cardstock that I use. I have cardstock for if I'm colouring. I have, sometimes what I'll do is colour in some images. I'll scan them onto, you know, into my printer, and then if I want images, I'll print them up. The paper that I use for printing them up is very different to the paper that I use for colouring. From what I got from watching YouTube videos of artists who use paper, you want a cardstock that is a smooth white cardstock that has a kind of not shiny, that's not what I want to say, but real smooth, you know. Some cardstock or paper can be very textured. It can feel very papery, you know, whereas others can feel really smooth but not shiny, and that's what you want. Any of the videos I watched, all of the artists, their first thing was what you colour on affects your results. It's the biggest thing. So be happy with what you're colouring on before you start colouring. It's nearly as important as the markers you choose. So if you buy Copics and then you colour on a crap quality paper, you're not going to get the results that someone using the exact same markers, the exact same blends gets when they use a smooth, heavy white cardstock. You know, that's just it. So, you know, I can have this cardstock, Benita can choose another one, we can sit down, do colouring, and our colouring is not going to look exactly the same because the paper we've used. So I really like, that's a big tip as well. Louise, the 320 set chisel and fine are $118.99 on Amazon, and that's not bad. Well, there you go. So you just shop around. Donna says that's a great deal on Amazon, Laura. 'Tis indeed. Laura said, I struggled with a tiny set of, I think it's Copics, years ago. There must be a knack that I don't have, but the pro markers were easy. Do you know, I really think it's down to the paper. I really do think it's down to the paper. Carmen said, 9 years ago, I started with Copics. I liked them because of their number system. So easy to find blends. But then I bought the Ohuhus 3 years ago, and they are amazing. There you go. From someone who used Copics for 6 years. She's been using the Ohuhus for the last 3 and loves them. Yeah. Carmen said she got the 320 Honolulu series with the new number system, and that's fantastic. I think that's what I got as well. The Honolulu 320. Laura is popping out. She's washing to peg out. Will you go peg out that washing? I got a wash out yesterday and oh my God, I just stood there for 2 minutes smelling the washing. It was so lovely bringing it in from outside. Alicia said, I'll be curious to see how these will compare to your old ones. So will I. And I will definitely be doing a colour test. I have 2 little frogs. I'm going to colour one in using the Ohuhus and the other using my co-experts to see how they'll do. Thank you, Benita. She said, I think Simone will be a pro on colouring going forward. Jeanette said, it's nice to have company. Well, it's lovely to have you, Jeanette. Time flies when you're enjoying yourself. It does, Louise. And I love talking, so I'm having a great time. Amanda says, how can I tell if the ones I have are alcohol or water-based when it doesn't say? Ooh, that's a question. Do you know, I don't know. And that's the honest answer. I don't know. I would think water-based markers, that's like a zig. Aren't they water-based markers? I think if you dip a brush into some water and if you scribble your water-based markers down, it should move, you know, like as if you're doing, you know, if you took a little water, words are hard. Yeah, I think with the zigs, let's have a look. Zigs are water-based. So if we take a zig marker in green, now this really, if you're using zig, do I have a brush? Oh, I don't think I have a brush. No, I don't. Where's my brushes? Ooh, and that's going to have dried now. Where are... I think, let me have a look. I don't know where my brushes are, and do I have water? You see with your water ones, now it's not going to work on this because this isn't the right paper. See, and this is what we were talking about, like paper matters. If I do it here and pick it up, it will move. But if I did that with an alcohol marker, I don't think that works the same. No, it doesn't. So a water-based marker will move like as if you're doing a watercolor, but an alcohol marker won't. It won't move in the same way. So I hope that's been helpful. That really had me on the spot. That makes me, oh look, my paintbrushes are all on the other side of the desk because I had them that side in the old craft room. But I don't know, as far as I know, I think that's how it works. But if there's anyone in the comment section who knows better, then please pop that in for, who was that? Amanda, was Amanda asked. And I see my hubby is in the chat. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the live. How was your day? How are you feeling? Right, we kind of got very distracted there now. YG12. I'm going to colour till 12:30. That's 2 hours and then we'll finish up. That way we can have lunch and get ready for the Queen of Crafting, Sam herself. Carmen said, Amanda, look, if the marker has a paintbrush, then it's watercolour. Try to move it with water is also a sign. alcohol markers do not react with water. There you go. Hello, Mike. How are you? Carmen asked. You could do a taste. Yeah, alcohol markers taste different, don't they? That's an ongoing joke my husband has with alcohol markers, because it says alcohol, you should be able to drink them. YG12. YG12. Why? I don't think it's there. Is it over here? Jeanette, YG12, can you see it? YR, YGY. I don't think so. I think I'm missing it here. YG6. Oh, it's 112. YG112. Okay, I got it right. Like, it has to be there. This is a lovely green. It's kind of a lime green. Lovely. Right, what's this one? Y111. Y111. Y11. Oh, there it is. No, that's YR. Y11. No. Let's see. I'm going to colour the rest of these in this afternoon while I watch Sam. That's my plan now for later. Right, I can't find that one. I'll leave that out. Let's grab another one. Y413. Y413, there we go. Y413, Y413. Lovely. Y29. Y29. There we go. Y29 melon yellow. Lovely. That would make for a nice sand color, I think. Let's see. Zig, stain your tongue. Mike, behave. Even Alicia, my daughter, is telling him, give over. Yeah. Amanda says, okay, I'll try that with a paintbrush, thank you. Great. Mike, give over. If you take a picture of the sheets and pop them into AI, you could just ask for it to point out where each one is. Alicia, that's so clever. Wow. Louise says it's a bit difficult to do a sing-song on a live stream, especially when the person doing the live stream is not a very good singer. Don't mind my husband, Louise. He thinks he's terribly funny. And he's got a sore throat, so he can't sing anyway. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. That's it. That's as much of a song as you're getting, Mike. Amanda said, just had to see what the dogs were doing. A wild boar in our olive tree. What? What? Oh my goodness. Wild boar. Wow. Be careful. I think they can be cranky. Right, Y09 is the next one. YG, Y03, Y09. Y0. There we go, Y09, Y09. I have to say, where I have been careful and coloured in the box, they haven't leaked out. Like where they have come out a little bit is where I've, you know, gone outside the lines. And if you do go outside the lines, all you need to do is grab your white gel pen, which I had there. There it is, I see it, it's behind. Excuse my head, guys. If you get your white gel pen and just go over, this is the same, this is true if you're colouring an image and you go outside the lines. You know, don't stress the small stuff about getting your blender. Just get a white gel pen and that will work perfectly as well. Okay, so that was Y09, all done. How are we doing for time? We're doing grand. This is FY. Okay, we'll leave the FYs for a little. I've got another Y. Y06. Y03. Y06. Y or no. Y. There we go. Y06. Lovely. Good afternoon, Pippa. I was going to say good morning, but it's now 20 past 12, so it's not morning anymore. Afternoon, one and all, just in from work, so able to catch the end. Lovely to hear your dulcet tones, Simone. Oh my God. I'm sorry I inflicted that on you, but Mike made me do it. He put the lyrics to a song, so I had to sing it. But not very long, because, you know, I don't want to get into trouble with the old YouTube. Don't forget to give a thumbs up if you haven't already. I think everyone has, to be honest. GG. We have some G's here. G44. G44. Let's color that in. Ooh, this is a kind of a bluey green. Tealy color. Lovely. And we have another G here, 36. There's G36. Lovely. Amanda said, yes, they are quite dangerous. Our land is fenced around the house, but not the rest of it. We lost a dog to a wild boar. Oh, I'm very sorry for your loss to hear that. Yeah, they can be very protective, can't they? Especially if they have young with them. G47. Lovely. Yeah, I watch a French couple. They have a chateau and they have wild boar that come through. They make an awful mess digging up their lawns, and they put a fence. It's like a short little fence, but it's an electric fence. It's not to keep the deer out, it's to keep the wild boar out. Let's see. Oh, Louise, who is Iced Images, for those of you who aren't familiar with her, she is an amazing paper crafter. The stuff she makes, I would, if you have not heard of Iced Images, or you haven't seen Iced Images on YouTube before, if she's new to you, folks, I recommend check her out. She's up there with our queen, Sam from Mixed Up Crafts. Wonderful, wonderful lady. I watch 90% of Louise's stuff. When it comes up, I'll put it on. And you know, when you're crafting, I don't sometimes get to hit the like or leave a comment, but yeah, love what Louise makes. Absolutely. So at the moment, she is trying to figure out the measurements for a card fold that she's seen on Pinterest. There doesn't have any measurements or instructions, so she's figuring it out herself. So you're actually engineering a card. So you're not only a paper crafter, you're a paper engineer as well, Louise. Fair play. Looking forward now to seeing that. So we're G49. G49. Come on down. There you are. G49. I would like to at least get one row finished before I finish up. So hopefully we will. Oh, Mike says, wait till Simone has me on one of these lives. We will be taking requests from the audience. Yeah, he'll be singing away to you all. God, I don't think any of them would want to hear you, Mike. Cara's back. Welcome back, Cara. I'm going to keep going till I finish one line at least. G315. G315. It's definitely G, yes. G315. Well, that's a bummer. I thought it might have finished my line. G. Right, I'm not going through all that looking for that one. G310. There's G210. There's G210. We'll fill that in. Lovely. We'll get one line at least filled in before we finish up. I don't want to be boring you all. I hope you're entertained. As Robbie Williams says, let me entertain you. I don't know if I'm doing a very good job of that. 311. There we go. G311. Oh, I love the feel of these. I love the feel of the marker on the page. Feels nice. G012. G012 is over here. G310. That's the first one there. G310. Well, I mean, it's true. Louise from Iced Images said, "Oh wow, thank you so much, Simone." No, it's true. You're a fantastic crafter. Definitely a level above me. I'll say that much. The makes you do are very inspirational, absolutely. And yeah, I'm not just saying it because you're there, you know. And I think everyone in the chat that knows you and watches you on YouTube will agree you're an amazing crafter. Yeah, Cara has just agreed with me there. Louise says, I've been doing live streams for a while and I can spot the crazy person when they enter the chat. She's talking about you, Mike. You're the crazy person. She's talking about you. Yeah, I love doing lives. I'm really enjoying it. I use OBS to stream my lives and bring in guests and everything. Yeah, so definitely we'll have... Louise, how do you feel about going live with me and the two of us making a card? Would you be interested in doing that? I would love to have you on my channel for us to make a card together. I think that would be great fun. If you're up for it, let me know. And vice versa, if you want to have a guest on your channel, I would love to do that with you. So I don't know what you use to stream. Do you just go live from your phone? I've been getting everyone switched on to OBS for doing their live streams. It is amazing. That way you can jump from different screens, like when I jump out and go back to the table, or if I come back to myself or go back to zooming in. OBS is amazing for doing that. So I would love to hear from you. And if you're a crafter out there and you do YouTube lives and you fancy going live with me on my channel, I would love to hear from you. I do enjoy crafting with a friend on my channel. So let's see, we have G24. And there is G24 down there, so we'll throw that on. Yeah, I love crafting with a friend. It's so much fun. I'm going to be crafting with Benita on her channel tomorrow evening. And I'm really looking forward to that. Let's see, what other ones? We're looking for G43 and BG24. Let's see, have I got BG, 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 BG09, G410, there's that one, G43, I think that's on this one actually, BG09, I think that's more of a blue. I don't know if I'm gonna, let's see, we've got G410, that's this one. Yeah, I've had a couple of crafty friends live with me. I've had Cara from Little Rabbit Designs. I've had Vicky from Crafty Heaven. I've had Haley from Haley's Cards. And like I've said before, I've had Benita on as well. G, I think we're where is my G43 and BG24. BG. This is the fun now because the BGs are like your blue greens. I've also got a yellow there, a Y17. There we go, Y17. I'm going to throw that in because I spotted it and I'd seen it before. I don't think I'm going to get a full line done because I'm going to end up going into the other colors now. What you can see here, I'm going to end up going into the yellowy orange colors and the blue colors. So I might not get to them. Let's see, have I missed some comments? Oh, sorry, Vanita. That was a secret. Well, it's only the few here that know. Louise said, Mike, I think a non-crafting podcast would be more apt for you. You tell him, Louise. You tell him. Well, you know, you don't have to have the picture in picture, you know. I love having it. I have to admit, in the beginning, I was like, do I want to do it? Because, you know, all the other people, Jennifer was doing it, Amy Orr was doing it, Kelly Taylor was doing it. And I thought, oh, do I really want to? But you know what? This is me. This is how I look. If you don't like it, tough. And I love it. I think people watching the videos or the lives, they love to get to see you kind of interact with them, not only down on the paper, but with the face up. So I think it's fun, but not everyone, you know, you don't have to do it if you don't like it. I was too busy replying to Mad Mike's crazy comments. I missed most of those, Louise, so you keep on top of that for me, will you? Because Benita is doing a poor job telling Mike to give over. Or she's not. She's there telling him. He's back to work, is he? Yeah, like a good boy. Okay, Kay is heading off. It's that time. It's lunchtime. So bye, Kay. Thanks for watching. See you in Sam's chat. Yeah. So do you know what, folks? I think I'm going to leave it there. I didn't get a whole row finished, but I am pretty pleased with what I got done. It is an awfully large pack of markers to colour through. And I think one of the ladies who channel that I popped onto, she said she spent a good 3.5 hours just swatching out all the colours. So I dare say it'll take me as much time without all the interruptions and the chats. But I just wanted to show you my new markers, my colouring swatch sheet, and have the chat, you know, because otherwise I'd be just sat here either chatting to a crafty friend, doing a video chat, or you know, just putting on YouTube videos and having that on in the background. And I thought it'd be fun for us to get together and just have the chat. So I'm going to move back up to myself. There we go. I'll move my lamp out of the way now. Very professional. And yeah, I just say thank you so much for watching the live today. I hope you enjoyed it. I will definitely finish swatching out all my sheets. Once I've that done, I think what I'll do is I'll set up the blank sheet with the numbers on it. I'll have a look at all my colours, decide what colours, what way I want them to do. I'll do it up, write it up, and that way then when I have that done, I will definitely share it. I'll let you know on either YouTube live or a video. But I will share that for anyone who's interested in it. But it may take me a while. There are links down below. There's an affiliate link to Craft World. There is an unaffiliated link to ohuhu.com. There's also a link in the chat to Amazon, which is an affiliate link to this 320 pack. I will put that link into the description as well. I found it just before I'd actually gone live, so that's why I popped it into the comments. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'd like to thank everyone who joined me. We had upwards and above 24 people join the live, and I know it wasn't a particular one where I'm colouring or making a card or anything, but I just thought it'd be nice to have an old chat. It's a beautiful summer's day here in Ireland, and they're few and far between. The forecast is due to change, I think, for the weekend, and I have my daughter and her partner coming up to visit me, so that's a shame. A little walk on the beach would have been nice, something like that, but sure, look, hey ho, we'll take what we get. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, if you're watching this after the live, do give my video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and ding the bell. I'm going to leave it there. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and bye for now. Bye.